Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. Today I am planning out the week of November 6th through the 12th and I will be using multiple whimsical plans kits that are called like Merry Kingdom, I believe. And it is like Christmas at Magic Kingdom themed, which this week I did go to Disney World with my best friend Jessica for the week. So we also did go to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, so I used an excuse to use this kit. I have yet to use this art, so I just absolutely had to do it. And then I have a ton of foil from RoseyPlans. And then for whatever reason, I realized I didn't have underlays right as I was filming this. So I actually pulled in some tape underlays that I've had from Rose Colored Days for a long time. Excuse me if my voice sounds crusty. I did just wake up. It is December 27th as I'm filming this voiceover, which if you watch my last video, very clearly this video did not make it up on Christmas like I had intended, which is my bad. Part of the issue is my parents were coming to my house for Christmas and they ended up coming a couple days early. Well, my mom ended up coming a couple days earlier, and considering this video is like twice as long as a normal plan with me, I just did not have time to escape away and film this voiceover. I actually didn't think I'd have time to get this voiceover done in time for my normal Thursday upload. However, I woke up ridiculously early this morning and I'm hoping to sneak it in before everybody else wakes up. With that being said, I am sitting on my bed filming this voiceover with Lucy. So if you hear her rustling around and stuff, I'm trying my best to get this done. Also, just to throw in another excuse for the sake of it. It's not really an excuse, but this time of year is the busiest time of year at my work, and as an introvert, talking to as many people as I have to talk to wears me out, which makes me come home and not want to talk. So it's just been hard to film voiceovers because I'm all talked out at the end of the day. But that being said, if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Leave any comments or questions down below. I'm not going to say where every sticker is from. There are a ton of them. Tons of extenders, which I do have a video on that I can link as well if you want to learn how to do these like foldable boxes. But let's go ahead and get into the storytelling of this week because, of course, it's a Disney trip. We have things to talk about. So the trip did go from Monday to Sunday, which as a planner person, we know is insanely satisfying. It just worked out that way, and I'm so grateful it did. So this trip, we stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge, and we had a room that had a safari view. I'm sorry again for my voice. And the safari view, it was magical, you all. It was truly magical to open up our blackout curtains and go out onto our patio and see zebra and giraffe and antelope and wildebeest, and I'm not sure what they were. They looked like longhorns, but I don't think they were. They were probably something else. But like, and tons of birds, and they just like living their life, eating, sleeping, all that. Like, it was so cool. It made it really hard to want to leave the room because if you don't know, I love animals, and one of my favorite attractions, period, of all of the parks in Disney World is Kilimanjaro safaris. So it was just really hard to tear me away from that room. If you have a chance to stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge and get a safari view, highly recommend it. It was everything. I will say one thing is our room was really far down, like the corridor. However, it was on the same floor as the lobby, which was super nice. So that was where we stayed this week. Flying in, I really had like no problems, no delays. Jessica and I got in to the airport within like 10 minutes of each other, which is really, I think, pretty exciting and pretty good. And then we went to the hotel after we got in, and we both changed from our like airport clothes into Disney bounds. And I decided this trip I was going to mark all my Disney outfits, because I never do, but I put so much time and effort into them, and I do collect Disney ears, that I just decided it was time to start marking that. So this day I went as Boo from Monsters Inc. So I wore this like oversized pink t-shirt, some purple shorts, and I had on my Monsters Inc. ears, which most of my ears are from Aloha Ears Designs, like 90% of them. And then we went to Epcot that day, and we definitely started off on a one-track mind of food. So we first got popcorn. I can't tell you how many times we ate popcorn on this trip. And honestly, if I like had to choose a last meal, which I know is really morbid, it might just be Disney popcorn. And then we went on the Grand Fiesta Tour because it had a short wait. I feel like we just didn't have, I don't know if we were trying to kill time or we were just like lollygagging around. I think we were just lollygagging around, and it had a short wait. And so of course we went on that, and then we just got a couple drinks, some more food, from a couple places, which I can go into more detail in the day by day if you all care about. But we did go to the Journey of Water, inspired by Moana for the first time. It's cool. It's cooler if you have kids. It's definitely not something I'm going to have to walk through every time I'm there. If it was kind of crowded in there that day, and we couldn't really have time to read everything or look for everything, I don't know. It was fine. It wasn't like anything groundbreaking or anything. But then we had gotten a text that our room was ready. That's what we were killing time for, because our room wasn't ready because we'd gotten in at like 8 a.m. or something. So we took a bus back to the hotel, and it turns out our hotel has more than one bus stop, and we did not realize this. So we get off the bus, and I'm like looking around, and I'm like, this looks familiar but wrong. Like something's not the same. And turns out we were at the wrong stop. There's 2 stops in Animal Kingdom Lodge, so we had an adventure back to the room. Instead of waiting for another bus, we just decided we would walk back to the room, and it was a bit of an adventure. Definitely doable. Wouldn't recommend under any circumstances, because, you know, you do enough walking in the parks in a day. But then we went back to the room, and we kind of like unpacked our things, like got organized for the rest of the trip. And then I passed out and took a nap because, y'all, that was an early flight. And I was just exhausted, so took a little cat nap. And then we went back to Magic Kingdom that night very briefly. And we really like didn't do a lot. We went and got some food, which seemingly was the theme of the day. And then we rode People Mover and Carousel of Progress. Both attractions that I love and adore. We rode the People Mover quite a bit this trip. I don't know. I don't know if it's because it's not in Disneyland anymore or what. But then again, neither is Carousel of Progress. But both of those attractions, it's the Disney nostalgia factor. They remind me of the old Disney, and I just have a warm, fuzzy place in my heart for them. I don't know if you all know what I mean, but like, I like newer attractions. Like Tron was really good, which we'll get to in a second. Love Cosmic Rewind, probably one of the top 5 roller coasters I've been on of all time. And like the technology is so cool. But there's something about old Disney attractions that make my heart warm and fuzzy. Like Peter Pan, the Country Bear Jamboree, any of the ones in Disneyland, like behind the castle, like Pinocchio, Snow White, Mr. Toad. Let me know if you're the same way. Like, I can go Pirates of the Caribbean. I can go on those attractions and never get bored of them. I don't know what it is, but, I guess that's just what happens when you grow up with Disney and now you are a Disney adult. It just kind of happens, Then moving into Tuesday, I'm kind of just looking at my planner, going day by day, and then hopefully planning me will catch up. And just glancing at my planner for any bigger stories that happened. Tuesday we had a delivery of like water and energy drinks and stuff from Walmart, and then I went as it was like Nightmare Before Christmas themed. I had a shirt that said we could live like Jack and Sally and Nightmare Before Christmas ears. And then we went to Magic Kingdom. We got coffee and food. And while we were eating, we were like sitting off to the side, kind of like in the America section of Magic Kingdom. And we were where apparently the characters like walk backstage, and the evil stepsisters were walking by, and there was these kids like climbing on a wall, and they like yelled at them, and they were super sweet to us, and it was just a really good character experience. And we both laughed really hard at that. So I definitely had to put that in, because Jessica and I definitely are not the types to purposely usually seek out a character to meet. If we happen to run into them, it's great. So having a character experience when you're not trying is always, I don't know, just special. Then we rode Haunted Mansion, which is Jessica's favorite attraction, and got more popcorn. And then Tron. So I went on Tron for the first time. Jessica didn't want to do it, which was fine. So she got to hold my stuff, because you're not allowed to take like bags or anything on the attraction. And it was really fun. It's super short. I think I ended up Googling it. I haven't timed it for myself, which is a fail. I really need to get better at using the stopwatch on my Apple Watch. But, I think according to the Google, it was 59 seconds. So just know that if you're going to go on it. And then I basically fangirl freaked out and spent a bunch of money, because right when I got off of the attraction, I, of course, met up with Jessica and got my phone back and looked at my phone, and Pete Wentz of Fall Out Boy, my favorite band of all time, in case you're new here and you don't know. I basically live and breathe for their existence. Announced he was had re-released a new collection with Clandestine Industries, which is his clothing brand that has the bat with the heart that I have tattooed on it, and I've been waiting literal years for this, okay? And I freaked out and definitely ordered some things. I regret not ordering more, and it all sold out, but still very exciting. Love my boys. Then we got some ice cream, because I'm into food, but Jessica's really into food. And if either of us got anything this trip, I just marked it. And then we went on Pirates of the Caribbean, and this was the ride we were stuck on the longest. We got stuck on quite a few attractions this trip, but this one was long enough that we actually got like a experience pass, which is basically like a fast pass that you can use on most attractions, because we were stuck for a long time. And then after that, we just went to the room and took a break. And then we went back to Magic Kingdom, where we were eating at Pesco Bill's, and I was like holding the table, and Jessica was picking up the mobile order, and I was sitting there, and this woman came up like, on the other side of our table, there was, like, a partition. It was kind of like a fence, but like a wall. And she was like, hey, I have a huge, huge, huge favor to ask. My phone is plugged in right here because my son's about to be in this parade. Can you please just watch it right here? Like, please? And I was like, sure. Like, I don't care. We'll be sitting here. It's fine. And then Jessica came back and we realized we needed more chips. So I went and mobile ordered chips and got up and went to go get them. And while I was gone, she came back to retrieve her phone and said thank you and gave me $10. Or Jessica $10. And Jessica, of course, was like, tried not to take it because that is ridiculous. I don't need $10 for watching your phone charge, but it was very appreciated in the end. And then we just did more Magic Kingdom things. So we went on Thunder Mountain. We did the Country Bear Jamboree. And then we had a fast pass for, or Lightning Lane, Genie Plus, whatever it's called now, for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I don't know what is happening with my voice. I'm so sorry. And we were like waiting in the queue. This is so ridiculous. We were waiting in the queue because we wanted to ride it during the fireworks. So we were like letting people go in front of us to try to time it right. And then the attraction broke down. So then we walked to Tomorrowland and watched Tinkerbell like fly through the sky. And then we used the fast pass we got from the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train breaking down to ride Space Mountain. And then even though I didn't watch it this week, I still marked Big Brother because it was the week it ended and I had to. So Big Brother was on. Yeah. Then on Wednesday, I wore my Maleficent ears because they're like a dragon, and we were going to Animal Kingdom, and Animal Kingdom has that dragon hidden in their logo, which they never really did anything with, but I didn't really have any other ears that I wanted to wear that I felt matched this park, so that was my excuse, and it was honestly one of my favorite outfits from the trip. I got so many compliments on it, and Jessica and I kind of have like a formula when it comes to Animal Kingdom. Like, we get there like when hotels are allowed to enter, and we go and we get coffee sometimes. Did I not mark that we got... No, I did. Okay, it was after. Depending on how long the line is before, we'll get coffee before or after the safari. We always go to the safari first. It's just tradition at this point. And then this time after we got off the safari, we walked to Gorilla Falls because we love the meerkats. The gorillas are cool too, don't get me wrong, and they were really, really active this day, which was very exciting, and I definitely took some videos for my mom because they're her favorite animals. But yeah, and it was really nice this time to watch the meerkats because we didn't have a cast member awkwardly hitting on us like the previous time. I just realized as well, I forgot to mention that the scripts are foiled by Plannahannah, as well as a quote box, a sidebar quote, and a 15mm washi that you will see at the end. And I do PR for Plannahannah, so you can use a Rosey15 to save and get my cutie freebie. I just had to mix the three metals, the red, the green, and the sparkly gold hollow. It was just... I had to go all out. It was Christmas at Disney, you know? Does that make sense? This just took me like ages to film as well, and I kept getting phone calls. As you know, my plan with me are usually around 20 minutes, so we're hitting that mark right now, but we still got like about 20 to go, which is exciting. After Gorilla Falls, we got Starbucks. Jessica is more into Starbucks than I am, but I feel like the word has gotten out about Joffrey's coffee because the lines this time just seemed worse than normal, which is very upsetting. And just also, I am at the point now where I need an energy drink a day to survive. So, oops. So I was drinking those, but this was definitely a surviving on caffeine kind of trip. And then after that, we went on Expedition Everest, because for some reason we never seem to ride that attraction together. It's either down for refurbishment or the line is like 90 minutes long and there's no fast passes and we're not going to wait for it. And then we decided to go on Dinosaur because we don't know how much longer we're going to be able to ride that attraction, because if you don't know, Dinoland USA as a whole and all the attractions there are going to be no more. They are refurbing Dinosaur into Indiana Jones, which should be a fairly easy refurb because the Dinosaur track is a carbon copy of the track of Indiana Jones in California. So basically they just have to replicate all the animatronics and stuff in that attraction and hopefully do it better with less issues. So I don't think it'll be that bad of a refurb, but you never know. You never know. And then after that, we went to Disney Springs and did some shopping, which I didn't mark everything we did there. But we went into like the Christmas store and looked around, and then we went into the art store and Jessica bought her brother some frames like she usually always does. Where else? We went into like Sephora and Lululemon and Lily Pulitzer and Uniqlo. I think Jessica got Wetzel Pretzel. And yeah, just, kind of hung out in Disney Springs. And then after that, we went back to the room because obviously we had done some shopping and had to put our effects away. Also, we did go to Joffrey's Coffee because every time I go to Disney World, I bring my parents home 2 things of Joffrey's Coffee. So, yeah, we did go to get their coffee beans. And then we took a break in the room. And then while we were in the room, a reservation opened up for a restaurant that I wanted to eat at Hollywood Studios. So we decided to go do that. I'm going to take a sip of water because it's right next to me. I don't know why I haven't. So we went to Hollywood Studios, and then we went to 50's Primetime Cafe, which if you haven't been there, you're inside of Mom's house in like the 50's. So you have to play by, the please and thank yous, no elbows on the table, like very proper rules, and you have to clear your plate. And I ordered onion rings, which were really good, and then a vegan wedge salad. It was terrible, horrible. I wouldn't feed it to a rabbit. And I did not clear my plate. So at the end of the meal, the waitress came to give Jessica a sticker that said like, the Clean Plate Club, and then she looked at me and she ripped my sticker in half and only gave me half of it because I only cleaned half of my plate. And I did save that sticker, and you will see me end up hiding it in the spread to save that memory in there and kind of incorporate that little souvenir, if you will. Then we went on Star Tours only because Jessica had never ridden it before, and it was a walk-on wait, which boggles my mind because in Disneyland, California, that attraction always has a long wait time. But either way, then we waited an eternity for Toy Story Mania, and then we closed out the night with Alien Swirling Saucers, which we have some fond memories of a child kicking us in line, and when we asked the child to stop, the parents called us miserable, lonely women, and now it's just kind of this funny thing for us to wait in that line and reminisce about that occasion, which it was really annoying at the time, but now it's funny in hindsight, Like I said, I'm not going to say where all the stickers are from. However, the park icon gingerbread stickers I am using are from Pretty Sheepy. I bought them specifically to use with this spread, and they are so cute. So cute for this time of year, and to represent the park. So, yeah. So that rounds out Monday through Wednesday. So moving into Thursday, I actually had my October kit lineup go live that day. So good for me. Did not miss a week of videos on the trip. And then this day I wore my Disney 100th anniversary ears, because it's, we're celebrating the 100th anniversary of Disney animation. And this was I felt the last time that was appropriate. Well, I mean, you could still wear them anytime. They're just purple and holographic ears, but it was my last time I felt that I was going to be there during the celebration. And then this day I forgot my Oura ring in the hotel room, and I was really annoyed about it. The first half of the day, that is. It happens. Since I got it in September, it is the only day I haven't worn it, so that still kind of haunts me a little bit. Then this day we went to Magic Kingdom, and we had kind of a slower morning, so we went and picked up Starbucks because Jessica really wanted it, and then we waited in line to get silhouettes done. Jessica had a couple she wanted done, and then last time I went, I got Lucy's silhouette, my dog, and this time when I went, I wanted to do my parents' dog, Tito's silhouette. So that's what I did, and then Jessica did her cat, and I think her brother's dog, and they're just some of the best souvenirs that you can get at the parks to bring home. Next time I go, I would really love to do Olivia, my cat, and complete the current pet trio that we have going on. But yeah. And it was a longer line because apparently, the secret's gotten out or it went viral or something. And now they're doing all kinds of pets too. I asked the girl, she said she's done a chicken. She's done, a rabbit. So, the silhouettes aren't just limited to humans. And then after getting silhouettes, we went ahead and wandered over to the Haunted Mansion and went on that attraction because, again, it's one of our favorites. And then we rode Thunder Mountain, which is another favorite, and I'm actually out of the Thunder Mountain stickers I use, so when Creativity and Ink opens up, I have to purchase more to complete this spread. I've been slacking, to be honest. Then we got more popcorn, and I rode on Tron again because why not? And it was great. Was this the time? One time no. I rode it again, and it was the next time I had the front row, I think. And then after Tron, we went to Pirates of the Caribbean. Again, another attraction I can ride over and over, although I much prefer Disneyland's to Disney World's. That's a whole nother story. Disneyland's is just twice as long as Disney World, so Disney World just always feels extremely short to me. Here on screen, you can see me with the sticker that I mentioned earlier from 50s Primetime Cafe, trying to figure out how I'm going to hide this sticker and get it to work in this spread. It took me a second, but I did end up engineering something to work that kept the, rip in the sticker showing still, so you'll see that in a second. Sorry, I'm off camera. I'm just a hot mess express with this, apparently. Then after Pirates, we had to get our Dole Whip for the trip. This trip wasn't as unbelievably hot as some of our, most of this trip wasn't unbelievably hot, so we didn't get it as many times as we usually would. Then after that, we went to Casey's Corner and just got some food. And then Jessica wanted this Rice Krispie, so we went to that gift shop that's over by Dumbo. And after she ate her Rice Krispies treat, we decided to go on Barnstormer just since we were over there. And I think we were waiting for a fast pass for Space Mountain at the time. And then we wandered over to the Little Mermaid ride, which the ride itself is exactly the same as the ride at Disneyland. However, Disney World's queue is superior. I almost love walking through the queue and like entering the castle and like going under the water and seeing Scuttle of that queue more than I like the actual ride and attraction, which is weird, I know, but that's just how I feel. I feel like that queue is so superior in New Fantasyland to the one in California Adventure. Then we did Mickey's PhilharMagic, which just makes me happy. I love sitting there singing along, and I feel like they've enhanced it some. The smellerizers and the smells they pumped in were definitely stronger this time than they had been. And then we went ahead and went on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. And this day we had to be out of the parks early, out of Magic Kingdom, that is, because they were having the first night of Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, which is not the night that we had tickets for. And we waited too long to leave the park because it was time for the party people to come in, and it was HE double hockey sticks getting out of there. It took us like a half an hour to get to the bus. It was so bad. It was horrible. And then the second we got to the hotel, we both decided we needed a drink, so we went to the bar by the pool, and then we ate at the quick service in the hotel, and Big Brother was on. Moving into Friday the 10th, it was payday, and then this night they had planned we had gotten notices about this, that from like midnight to like 4 a.m, the potential for like the power to be out, they were going to be servicing something, and to let us know that the power would be out, they gave us like flashlights and all sorts of stuff, and we were both dreading this. And when I say the second that power went out, at like 12:15 a.m., Jessica and I were both up. Like, power went out, and we were like, power's out, and we were like, wide awake. Wide awake. The room was like deathly still and quiet and started getting really stuffy and hot. I thought it was interesting, though, because like the hallways still had lighting, but just the rooms didn't. And it was horrible. It was horrible. I hated it. And then the power came back on. It started to cool down. We went back to sleep. And then when we finally got up for the day, this day I wore my studded mouse ears, which are the only pair I brought that were not Aloha Ears designs. And we were going to Epcot this morning. And this morning there was a ton of traffic, and it took us over 30 minutes on the bus to get there, which was not ideal. And then when we got there, we did Figment because I just love Figment. And then we did Living with the Land. Now, here's where everything starts to change weather-wise. It was starting to get really hot this day, so I went and got Jessica and I some frozen refreshers. She got a blueberry one, and I got a Coke one, while she stood in line and got us a fry flight, because we were trying to kill time for our Guardians of the Galaxy time window, which I did get Jessica to go on this time, and I'm very, very proud of. And then when we came out of Guardians, it was so unbearably hot. Jessica wanted to walk over to the American Pavilion to get a funnel cake, and before that we stopped and got more Coke refreshers. I got a Coke and she got a banana one. And then we started to walk over to the America Pavilion to get a funnel cake, and she dropped me off in Italy. I literally felt like I was either going to hurl or pass out. It was so disgusting. So we decided to wait for our Frozen Fast Pass while we finished the refreshers and the funnel cake. And then we were like so done with being in that park. Like, it was bad. We both felt horrible. I didn't have my neck fan. I wasn't expecting it to be that hot that day. It was bad. So then we went back to the room to take a break because this was our night to be out super late for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. So I went back to the room, and this night I wore my Gertie ears, which are technically Hollywood Studios themed, but I love them too much to not. And then we went to Magic Kingdom, and I put in, obviously, that it was Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And then when we got in, the first thing we did was go on Pirates of the Caribbean. And then we went on Big Thunder Mountain after that. Because they were basically just like a walk on time, which we love to see. And then we went to Sleepy Hollow because they had this like Santa's milk and cookies dessert that I wanted to try. It was so good. Like, I actively to this day think about this dessert and also how it is more problematic than just missing Disney popcorn, because I can get Disney popcorn any time of year. But what if they never bring this back? What if I never go to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party again? Like, that might have been my chance, you know, my only time having it, and it was so good. And then we went on Haunted Mansion, and then It's a Small World, and then we went ahead and went on Space Mountain. It was the holiday run overlay, and I was in the front row for it, and I fangirled on it because they have... So usually it's pitch black in this Space Mountain, and usually there's not music, but there was Christmas music playing, and there was a bunch of holiday lights going everywhere, and snowflakes, and because of all the lights, you could see the inside of Space Mountain. And if you know, I always want to be the person on attractions that they get broken down, and they turn the lights on, and they ruin the magic, and I can see all the stuff. So this was like the next best thing, because we weren't stuck on the ride, and we got to ride it and see everything. However, while on Space Mountain this time, I had my like backpack wrapped around my feet, and we hit this bump, and the water bottle out of the water bottle sleeve just like flew out of the ride, and we never found her again. And then we went ahead and went on Tomorrowland Speedway because it was also themed, and then we did Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. And then we went ahead and went on the People Mover again because we wanted to go ahead and see Space Mountain while not on it with the lights. And then Jessica got a Christmas treat of Reindeer Tracks ice cream. We got more popcorn, and then we sat on the People Mover and watched the fireworks because we were waiting for my Tron number to be called. And this was the time, not only did I get to ride it at night, which I do think it is superior at night, but I also got to ride it in the front row, and it was pretty awesome. And then as we were leaving the park, the monorail went right over our heads, and it was decorated for Christmas, and it was so cute. So I just wanted to go ahead and mark that because it just made me genuinely happy. Then moving into Saturday, we were both exhausted. We were out to this party way past our bedtime. We're both like grandmas, so yeah. And then we like got ready and both accidentally passed out and took a nap, so apparently we needed it. Then this day I wore my Tower of Terror ears with my Fall Out Boy Tower of Terror Sugar We're Going Down shirt from the Lost Bros. We went to Hollywood Studios. I did have my neck fan this day. I marked that it was disgustingly hot and humid. We went and ate at the commissary, and then we rode Rise of the Resistance because Jessica had never been on that attraction before. And even though she's not a Star Wars fan, I do think she enjoyed how immersive it was. And then we rode Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is always just adorable. We did Slinky Dog Dash, and then we went ahead and had dinner at Woody's Roundup Barbecue, which is like the new restaurant in Hollywood Studios, and 10 out of 10 would recommend. I don't know why people are hating on it on the internet. First off, it was so much fun. They literally yell, "Andy's coming," and everybody freezes until he leaves, like your toys. And not only that, but the food was actually pretty good for that kind of meal. I don't know. I was just really impressed with the food, and I'm a very picky eater, so I eat picky eater like things, and they were extraordinary. So I would recommend, especially if you got picky eaters. And then I use a Baymax wrapped in Christmas lights to mark we said goodbye to the parks, and then we went back to the room to pack. Moving into Sunday the 12th, I put in that I was anxious. I was so anxious. Orlando's airport gives me anxiety to the max. So we couldn't get an Uber this morning. It took forever to get an Uber. We finally get to the airport. Security was long. It just gives me so much anxiety. I ended up having to say goodbye to Jess and fly home, which is always sad. I also miss marking the Tragical Express because they no longer do the Magical Express leaving the parks, but it is what it is. And then I marked that I lost 5 pounds because somehow I always do that at Disney. I don't know. I've already gained it back though, but it is what it is. LOL. And then I unpacked, and then I haven't put it in yet because I haven't needed to print a full sheet of white stickers, but I do have a hand-drawn Marie sticker that I'm going to put in there from Jessica because she gave me my birthday present on this trip, and it was this Marie clock I've really, really been wanting. And then I did some planning because let me tell you, I was so anxious for this week and getting everything in here and making it all fit. Planning these weeks is always fun but stressful, and then when they're done, I'm so happy that I have all my memories in one place, especially when it's so hollowy and good. So here I'm putting the 15 millimeter washi that Hannah foiled for me that says Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, just because that was my first time going to it, so I wanted to really highlight it. And then in the sidebar, I put The Most Magical Place on Earth with Jessica, and a quote box you'll see me put on that Mickey box in the sidebar in a second says, "So you chop down a tree and dress its corpse with candles? I love it," which is an Olaf quote, and I just thought that was hilarious to put on this spread. And here I am just putting in all the scripts that Hannah foiled. And she does rearrange the scripts from how I have them when I send them to her. And usually it's not that bad because they don't have that many scripts. But y'all, this week was doing some of this, looking for these scripts, finding them was playing a game of I Spy or Where's Waldo. It was so hard. And then the leftover scripts, don't worry, are not going to waste. I'm actually sending them to Jessica so that she can use them in her planner as well. But yeah, it was just, you'll see I leave some blank because I literally, I'm I can't find it. Did I miss it? I don't know. And then I find it later, so I'll go back and put it in. But yeah, that was our trip week. It was a very fun, very magical week. I already want to go back. I miss Disney so much. The Disney bubble, I just, especially this time of year with work. Although I would not want to go to Disney this time of year, real talk. Looking at those wait times from home just does not seem like my kind of jam, but I think I miss the vibes still. But yes. And I definitely did, I don't know the word, utilize having multiple kits and using the extras, especially the little things. It was super nice to not have to worry about running out, not having enough, especially when you have so many extenders in a spread. I mean, so many of these days have extenders that even have an extra flip in them. When I flip through my planner, this spread is legitimately heavy. The page feels heavy from all the stickers and extenders on it, and it just is a sign of a magical trip, a great Disney trip. If you've made it this far, let me know what your favorite Disney ride is if you've been, or something you want to try next time you go. I'm really curious, really curious. I want to make it out to Tom Sawyer's Island because I don't know if I've ever done that at Disneyland or Disney World. It's, I know, probably not that exciting, but it's just one of those, like, I've never done it type things, so why not? And of course, there's tons of food options that I would love to try, especially Disneyland does all these really cool churros now. Sounds so good. Sounds so good. And you can see right there a Thunder Mountain sticker is supposed to go where that flag is, so I'll just fill that in once I acquire some more. I also need to get some new tweezers because my name's falling off of this pair and I broke my other pair of tweezers, but the shop I used to get them from no longer sells them. So does anybody have any recommendations on where to buy tweezers with like custom tweezers with your name? Let me know. There's just so many Disney stickers in this spread, it's crazy. Most of the ride icon stickers are from Creativity and Ink. If you want to know where any other specific stickers are from, you can always leave a comment down below, and if I know, I would be more than happy to let you know. Yeah. I don't know. That's basically the end of this plan with me. So I hope you all enjoyed it. And if you are struggling, just know that you are not alone. My DMs are always open for you on Instagram. It is RoseyPlans, like you see here. Yeah, and that's basically it. I don't know what else to say to not end this voiceover early. I really don't like when people end voiceovers before the footage is done, so I'm going to just keep rambling. Just know that you are worthy, you are worth it. I hope you all had happy holidays to those who celebrate, and have a great New Year's Eve and New Year's. Please be safe to anybody that goes out and does anything. Let me know your New Year's resolutions as well. I'm curious. I don't really have any other than losing 10 pounds. So there's that. That's it. You all know the drill. This is the end of the video. And I never know what to say, so especially this one, because usually my outros are like about the length of the clip, but this one has so many extenders that it's just like, it keeps going. It won't stop. It won't stop. But I hope you enjoyed this long, rambly, kind of different plan with me. I know I usually don't start the day by day until I start it with the footage, but I just had too much to say about this trip. And you all wait until next year for some Disney spreads, because I got some Disney spreads coming next year. I promise. This will definitely not be the last one for this foreseeable future, which is always exciting to have another trip booked, especially the one I have booked. So I look forward to seeing you in those videos. Bye, friends!